it usually happens pretty quickly. You see a child who is normal range, healthy, happy, they're themselves, their natural childhood self. And then all of a sudden, the child is so different, it's almost as if they're gone. It's almost as if they've left. So I'll take my story for an easy example. I was a confident kid. I was a very outgoing kid. I knew who I was. I knew who I liked. I might have been weird, but I didn't care. I said things how it was. I said it how it was. I was honest. I was not afraid to speak my mind. And then the abuse really set in, day out, day in, day out. Never can escape it. Always feeling bad about myself. I, my parent, we'll just call it the delusional parent, and I'm not meaning that in a negative way. It's just the facts. My delusional parent noticed, oh my God, my daughter, something's wrong with her. Instead of thinking, wow, I need to change my behavior, I think this situation, this environment, my behavior might be affecting my child really negatively. They notice the change in the child and they think, my child has a problem. And what do? They usually take them to a therapist and they take them to a psychiatrist. And that's what happened. So my mom noticed I was acting very different. I was not myself. I was showing different signs of different problems. And so, boom, I was diagnosed with childhood depression, childhood anxiety disorder. Now, what would have happened if instead of being diagnosed with childhood depression and childhood anxiety disorder, if instead I was taken out of that environment? I would not have been diagnosed with those two conditions. But it doesn't stop there because more often than not, I would say I might go to therapy to try to help the child. Regular talk therapy is not going to help the child. It might actually make everything worse for the child. And so they think of it as, oh my God, the child is not improving. We should try medication. So they start some medications. And it might not just be childhood depression or anxiety disorder. It might be ADHD they misdiagnosed the child with. It might be ADD of what they diagnose the child with. It might be OCD. Whatever they diagnose the child with, it's a misdiagnosis because it's the abuse causing the symptoms and the behaviors. But they never identify the abuse. So what happens? These conditions that the child does not actually have get worse and worse. They're put on more and more medications that never solve the problem. So they up the doses. They up the doses and they up the medications and they add more medications and they add new treatments and new doctors. So what happens next? Oh, these kids, they develop health concerns. And so the parents, oh my God, my child's now sick. And so they might take them to the doctor, take them to a specialist, take them somewhere to get the child's health concerns fixed. What's the cause of the child's health concern? It's the abuse. And yet no one is ever stopping that abuse and that trauma. So what happens to the child's health? It gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I hope this makes sense about how this particular pathology in the parent can cause a type of fictitious disorder imposed on another. It's sick. And I also want to mention that fictitious disorder imposed on another has an extremely high mortality rate. It's a 10% mortality rate. Extremely high. We can avoid the medications. We can avoid the health problems. We can avoid the 10% mortality rate. Guys, this happened to me. This all happened to me. This all happened to me. I'm not going to be quiet about it anymore. This all happened to me. This all happened to me. And the worst part is that if my dad had been in my life, he would have protected me from this crap. He would have protected me from all of it. It's across the board. It's across the board. And we have this whole industry, like these professionals or these experts, whatever, who are just focused for 20 years on getting 2 words into a freaking book. While millions of children are going to be over-medicated, misdiagnosed, enduring health complications that may shorten their life, make their life debilitating. These parents deserve to be in jail.